Fallout 76 is coming soon, and there's some pretty necessary information you should probably have before it comes out. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, 10 things to know about Fallout 76 before the full game launches. Number 10, you need to know how V.A.T.S works. V.A.T.S is, of course, the V.A.T.S assisted targeting system, and it's different this time around. You can't really have a real-time MMORPG where you can pause time. That would definitely create an asynchronicity to the world, which would in some respects ruin the kind of game Fallout 76 is trying to be. So in 76, the V.A.T.S system is not a slow-mo, bullet time, simply select a target and shoot type of situation like in Fallout 4, or even a complete halting of time like in previous Bethesda Fallout titles. What the game has now is kind of an aimbot. You more or less are able to target with much better accuracy and kind of doesn't have the cinematic feel to it, unfortunately, a bit. That's okay though, because I think it's kind of part of the things that make Fallout into Fallout, so that they want to translate it is good, but it's different, and it's necessary to know how different it is going in, which is quite different. Number 9, the game, though online and massively multiplayer, does have something of a story, but not necessarily a traditional Fallout story, so to speak, more a scenario. Obviously, the idea is to sort of reclaim West Virginia for the human race in so many words, but there is actually main quests that you get from robots that are all around the landscape. Again, it's scenarios and missions as opposed to an actual narrative, but it's not as if there's no purpose. You don't just jump out of the vault and do your thing in the wasteland or anything like that. There is goals. Number 8, there are no NPCs, or rather, there are no friendly NPCs that you can interact with. Technically, enemies are non-player characters, and they might even say a few things if you get near them and they don't know you're there. I don't know. I'm just leaving that door open just in case. There's also mission robots, but I wouldn't really call them characters. They're more literally just things that you can do. They give you tasks and don't converse with you. They aren't characters per se. They're more like mission-giving objects. There's robots that do it, terminals, even notes that you find, or holotapes. So it's a lot different than the more dialogue and narrative-driven missions of the past. There are also intelligent ghouls in the game that can wield guns and kind of replace the raiders in the game. And given the fact they're intelligent, there may be stuff to glean from them, but I wouldn't expect in-depth characterization either. Number 7, if you want to use nukes, you have to find nuclear silos, which you will need to find codes to unlock. Once you're in the silo, you can target areas of the map with a nuclear strike. The players in that area get a warning, the nuke lands, and actually transforms the area temporarily into what you would call a high-level zone. The most obvious trait of that is that it's irradiated, but there's high-level monsters, lots of loot, and plenty of resources in a nuclear area. And apparently it takes teamwork to find codes that you have to piece together to enter a nuclear silo. So it's not just, hey, I'm gonna spend my time getting codes and nuking areas. There's more to it, there is a reason to do it, and it provides a good reason to engage in teamwork. Number 6, the camp system, which is more or less a portable base building system. You'll be able to build a base anywhere, and you will be able to co-op camp, so to speak. The camps have a workshop, a cooking pot, and a few other necessities as far as crafting is concerned. When you build a base, you'll have to worry about monsters attacking it, so you'll want to set up turrets, weapons, traps, etc., and you'll have to constantly defend it. You will want to build one though, because it allows you to craft weapons and mods to weapons. A big question people had was, what if players build camps, bases in the same place on the map? And the answer is, if 2 players on one server build in the same place, which by the way would have to happen at different times, because you can't build where another base is already built. Your base is just placed in the camp system and you can rebuild it anywhere you want. Number 5, there is PvP and it works based on a bounty system. Basically, if you kill somebody who isn't doing anything and presumably doesn't want to get into PvP, a bounty goes on your head that if somebody kills and collects the bounty comes out of your money. It's actually kind of interesting. At the QuakeCon Q&A for the game, it was said that we turned the assholes into interesting content, and I'm quite inclined to believe that that might actually kind of work. Number 4, DLC is going to be entirely free, but there is also going to be microtransactions, keeping in mind they are not going to be pay-to-win microtransactions, which is it's good. It's not as if cosmetic microtransactions aren't kind of a bit of a gross incentive to make more money out of something, but at the same time, they are going to be supporting the game in theory forever, so we'll see exactly how much that matters. Also, we'll see exactly how not pay to win it stays, because we have seen that said before, and the publisher of the game goes back on it eventually. I don't want to say that I'm particularly worried about it, but I also don't want to put Bethesda over any other company that is prone to the downsides of business. We're all just people, they're not people, and frankly, I'm fairly excited that DLC is going to be free. That's good. In theory, the game could become something even bigger than what it already is, and it wouldn't cost anybody anything. Number 3, it is going to support mods, but not at launch. What's interesting is it's obviously going to have some degree of splitting of the experience. So according to Todd Howard, there's some degree of having your own private world to be able to mod. So what that means exactly, I don't know, but I'm fairly excited about that because in theory, that would be a great thing to do on the weekend is have some friends into your private, goofy, modded Fallout 76 world. Number 2, the game will be launching on Bethesda's own launcher and not Steam, which does make sense given it's a live service. That's kind of the trend we've seen a lot with live services, especially games where financial information is kept by the publisher, in this case Bethesda. We've seen it with Epic Games before, and I'm not saying that it's necessarily good for the user or anything. Obviously, one place to launch everything and only one place having your secured information is better than having it spread around a bunch of different servers depending on a bunch of different games you play, but that also creates a centralization problem, and it's kind of a loop of various different problems, so I don't want to get into that much further. From a business perspective, I do get why Bethesda is doing that. They don't have to pay fees to Steam for microtransactions. It's that simple. And finally, number 1 is, of course, the housekeeping. Fallout 76 is coming out on November 14th, 2018. It's coming to PS4, to Xbox One, and to Microsoft Windows. There are different editions, which, for instance, the Tricentennial Edition features bonus items like power armor with patriotic designs, an Uncle Sam costume, that sort of stuff. The Power Armor Edition actually comes with physical items. It's $200, and there's also an Xbox One bundle that you can get. Now, the system requirements for the game are a little beefy for what it looks like. The CPU requires a Intel Core i7 or an AMD Ryzen 3. The i7's got to be 3.6 GHz, the Ryzen 3's got to be 3.5. You need 8 GB of memory, a 64-bit version of Windows, at least an NVIDIA GTX 780 3 GB, or an AMD Radeon R9 285 2 GB, and 60 GB of free disk space. Now, there's apparently also going to be a 54 GB day one patch, so hope you're excited for that. Probably more importantly to say, there isn't a season pass. Like we said, the DLC is all going to be free, so no season pass. I mean, that's a pretty positive note to end this on. What are you looking forward to the most about Fallout 76? Leave us a comment, tell us what you're thinking, and if you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now is a great time to do so, and also, don't forget to click that notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos which go up every single day. As always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time, right here on gameranx.